Hello everyone, and welcome to the winter solstice reading for 2021. It's winter solstice, of course, in the northern hemisphere and summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. The return of the light is a very exciting time. So I just invite you to take a deep breath. Pull yourself into the present moment and just let go of anything that you've been holding. Anything. Just give yourself the gift of this time together, knowing that your energy is adding to our collective draw of information through this reading into the world for our personal and collective highest good. I invite you to take 3 nice deep breaths and just see a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, anchoring you deeply in this present moment, deeply into Mother Earth, knowing that that tree root is not only grounding you in the here and now, but is also a conduit through which anything that you no longer need can easily pass down into Mother Earth to become compost for new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, honoring the sacred time of the solstice. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide it in a manner that will be easily and effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening to be present, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to facilitate this exchange and ensure that we cover that which is in our collective heart and mind at this time for our highest and greatest good, in our highest service. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around each of us, across time and space, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of transformation, of beauty, harmony, of healing, of peace. Whatever it is that you're craving and your heart is calling you towards, may it be answered here today. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies of love and light, transformation and healing is welcome to go now. Let's get started, shall we? Okay. I'm hoping you are all in a good place, in a good way. Certainly that is the intention for a gathering right here, right now, that we bring our highest and our best to the circle of light wherever you are. There are many, many, many people holding ceremony today, praying together today, meditating together today. There's a lot of good energy on the planet today, on this sacred day. The longest in some places and the shortest in others. But wherever you are, I hope that you're holding the light in your heart. Okay. Creator, what is it that we most need to know right now? Understanding the energy of this solstice season for our personal and collective highest and greatest good and empowerment. Okay. Do body, mind, heart, spirit, and the foundation card. It felt important to have the white cloth here today, so I'm going with it. I hope it's okay at your end. Right, let's start with the body. What do we need to know about our bodies and where we're at right now in the world? We have the energy of the Queen of Wands. Wands is about creativity, inspiration, and passion. The Queen is the feminine qualities and aspects of this suit of fire, this element of fire. So it's very much about the felt, about being in our bodies and honoring the intuitive life force and the generative life force, because that's the other aspect of Wands, is that creativity is also about generation. It's about creating, it's about making, it's about pulling energy through us into the world in a creative way, making something new, making something different happen. So this is the energy of the body. What do we need to know on the level of the body for this solstice for our highest and greatest good? It's channeling our energy, allowing our creative life force energy to really inhabit our field and allow it to express itself into the world. And this isn't a hyper rational thing because we don't have the king, we have the queen. This is a felt thing. exploring your intuition, exploring what you feel called to do and letting it have a voice. This is about us learning new ways of being with the higher, broader, wiser energy that we all have within us. This is about the energy of the life force that is who we are and that is who everyone else is on the planet. We're learning to tap into it in a different way. We're learning to become sensitive to it and to hear it and to co-create with it and play with it in a more intentional, conscious and present manner. And this card is telling us on the level of the body, the felt experience, this beautiful apparatus that we each have for carrying our energy field around. It's the physical aspect of our energy field, the hub around which our field coalesces. This energy of creativity, of generation, of life force, of the vitality of life being in us and flowing through us is what we're reminded about in this reading with this card on the level of the body. Knowing that your body is the vehicle, is the chariot through which your expression comes through and into the world, into this reality of the material. So spirit into matter, in other words. So understanding that the sacredness of your body and treating yourself as sacred, honoring yourself as sacred, nourishing yourself as something sacred, something it doesn't encapsulate it appropriately, but you know what I mean. We are sacred. Our bodies are sacred because they house the spirit of us, the energy of us. So really honoring your beautiful body, really taking care of it, connecting with it in new ways, learning to respect it and honor it in new ways, and finding ways to bring that generative force into the world. The generative force that is you, the creative element that is you. Just paying attention. I mean, you don't have to have this all figured out right now. Remember, this is a journey. This is part of being human. We're here in these physical bodies to have the experience of being human and understanding ourselves in new ways. The oracle at Delphi, over the door, it said, know thyself. That's the journey, to know ourselves as spirit in form in this reality, understanding our preferences, understanding who we are and what we're here to share. What do we want to share? And exploring that. So it's the queen, it's the fire suit, it's light, it's explorative, it's inspired. Let yourself play with this and see where it takes you. And I'd love to hear where you go with it in the comments below. Body, mind is the next one. Mind. And here we have the card of love, which is the acorn that grows into the oak tree. That's the quality of an ace. It's that seed that has the potential of expansion on an incredible level. And here in the the position of the mind, we have the energy of love. We have the card of love, which is interesting because, of course, you know, the mind is not the seat of the emotions. And yet, I think what this card is telling us is that our minds are expanding as a result of the expansion of love on the planet at this time. And this is not only our love, which is important to cultivate and to be mindful of and to express to the best of your ability as often as you can, but it's the collective love. It's the energy that is creation, that is the divine, that everything is made of, that holds everything in its field. That life force, that field is love. And it's something to do on the level of the mind with accessing this energy of the love. The mind, of course, is the air suit. It's intellectual, it's usually more removed, but here we have the water suit, the feelings, the connection to that aspect, which I find fascinating that we have this sitting in the area of the mind. So it's exploring love, holding love in our mind, holding the energy, the frequency, the intention of it, using our mind, which is part of the field of who we are, as the tool that it's meant to be to distinguish and experience consciously the energy of love, and therefore to pull more of it towards us and more of it through us onto the planet at this time. Does that make sense? So, very much about the mind using it, the rational, logical, linear thing, to notice, to discern, to distinguish love, and to be love, to hold the intention of love. We're using our minds as our intention, as our laying down of the track along which our flow will happen, so that we can express more of this on the planet, be beacons of light and love, and also pull that through us and be the frequency of that on the planet at this time. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Heart, that's the next card. What do we need to know on the level of the heart? Well, sacrifices, the 8 of Hearts. And this card always speaks to me of a lot of emotion. It feels like crying to me. This card always feels like weeping. And this weeping for what was, this grieving for what was, this through the power of having the emotion and releasing the emotion, allowing it to flow out of your experience and out into the world, water the earth, and become, again, a contribution to the life that's growing. Watering the earth and the seeds that we're sowing for a new earth, for our beautiful new world. So this energy of what do we need to understand about our heart at the time of the solstice and for the next 3 months, there's going to be a lot of emotional experiences happening, a lot of feeling. This is okay. This is part of our human journey. It's part of our transformative process. The trick is not to hold on to the emotions, but just to let them pass through you. Know that they are temporary. They will go at the right time, and it's not for us to hold on to them, to clutch them, or to milk them for what they're worth, unless you really want to wallow in feelings. And some people do. That's your deal. Wicked. Have fun. But this idea of understanding that at the heart level, there will be a lot of movement, a lot of moving through us. And I would say, again, the sadness, the grieving, the allowing ourselves to express all the hurt, the disappointment, the pain, the suffering that has come up for us personally and collectively, the harm that we've done to this planet, the harm that we've done to each other, historically, in our present moments, all that we've been experiencing. There's a lot of feeling that we've dammed up as human beings, and it's important for us to let it come through us now. It's part of the healing process, and as I said, I just want to remind you, it's not to hold on to. It's to allow it to flow through and out. And as a result of that, we are cleaner and clearer, and we're freeing up space then for our new manifestation, for this new earth. We're cleaning out the emotional closet, so to speak. So if you're feeling really emotional, if you're having a lot of energy around this, just know that it's okay. Some of it is yours, some of it may not be yours, but this is what's happening on the human level, on the human scale. We're grieving. We're having a lot of emotions around what's been, so we can clear the slate for what we do want. And here we have on the level of spirit, anxiety, the 5 of Pentacles, the unknown. So here on this card, we have this man and this woman, and they're looking for shelter. It's a cold, dark night, and they're looking for somewhere to be. Sounds like us, eh? And they've come to a building that's all lit up, and it's very fancy. You see there's a fancy window, and there's probably what they need inside it. But something feels off. And so rather than knock on the door, they decide they're going to keep going. There's this sort of sense that I get with this card of not going back to the way things were. We really have to be deliberate about consciously co-creating what it is that we want. So, using what was as our playground, so to speak, our closet of materials, our pantry shelves, whatever, of the bits and bobs that we've loved, the things that have contributed well to us as humanity, as personally and collectively, pulling on those things that serve us, that have served us and will continue to serve us, and allowing ourselves to create a new picture. This is the level of the spirit. So this card is about directing the energy of the spirit towards what is wanted. They're deciding to continue their journey because where they are is not congruent with them. So they're choosing to continue the journey, choosing to continue to seek what it is that's congruent in their hearts. So this card, and this card of spirit, is kind of interesting. It's this sense that we are continuing to seek what it is that we want. And it's important not to settle. It's important to hold a lofty frequency of what it is that we want, to really tap into that energy of love and this beautiful generative fire quality to give us the energy and the fortitude that we need to keep going, to pull what it is that we want into our experience from a good place. So yes, collectively I would say there's a lot of anxiety on the planet. But that's because we're not in our hearts. We have to drop back into our hearts, into our bodies, into our field where everything is. This is where the information is. This is where the answers are. This is where our power is. This is what we know from ourselves to be true. It's all right here in our nowness. And from that place is how we know how we need to navigate life, how we need to move forward, what we need to do. That's, as I said, the point of power is right here in this nowness. So on the spirit level, this sense of, and it's interesting to me too, because of course it's a pentacle, which is the material, which is the earth element. So there's this sense of using our material experience as the fodder or the information or the data that we will use to generate our new world from. And our anxiety or the fear or that uncomfortable feeling is what's compelling us to keep moving and to keep creating, to keep pulling towards us what it is that we do want. It's an important part of the creative process. If we weren't uncomfortable, we wouldn't be doing the work. So it's essential. It's essential for pushing us. So if you're feeling that way, realize that it's just life giving you a shove, pushing you. What is it that you want? Take that deep breath. Drop into your heart, drop into your body, be in your now moment and go, okay, I'm here to create. I'm here to be the manifester of my existence. I'm feeling uncomfortable in this moment and it will pass. And what do I want to give my attention and my focus to? And that would be one way of navigating any sort of disruptive, uncomfortable waves as they come through you, especially because we have this card here, right? Okay. Let's see what the foundation card says. The reading, why we're having the reading. We have the card of celebration. So, this energy of joy, of appreciation, of celebrating who we are, where we are, who we're with, the many blessings that we have, counting our blessings as often as possible. This is the foundation energy for this solstice. Being very mindful to be in appreciation, to be in love, to be in celebration. Small ways, bigger ways, but holding this as your core, as your anchor, as we go through the next 3 to 6 months. It's important to stay in the light, in the joy, in the levity, in the beauty. It will be very helpful to you personally and collectively. When we are collectively holding this frequency on the planet, we hold a lot of light. Gratitude and appreciation is a brilliant holder for light on the planet. And there's a lot of darkness right now. I had somebody write to me and say that darkness is part of the winter solstice here, and that's just true. And it's part of the cycle of life. We do need the darkness. We need the time to go inward. We need the time to rest and take care of ourselves. That's the beauty of seasons and the beauty of cycles, is that there's a perfection to it all. And in the midst of our doing this, our resting and taking care of ourselves, the focus on our inner light and the focus on the light in the world is what keeps coming through to me in my meditations and in the reading, certainly, is this message of holding the light in our bodies. The light that's hitting the planet now is different than it's been in a long time. Pam Gregory speaks about it in her astrological readings. I encourage you to go listen to her if you haven't already. She's fantastic. And there feels like there's a different quality to the light these days. To me, anyway. And so it feels like the light is changing us. It's transforming us. The light of the sun is information coming into our field and transforming our physiology, our mental, emotional, spiritual spaces, our fields in general. And the quality of the light of our sun is very much this energy of celebration, of joy, of radiant well-being, of being alive on the planet at this time, and celebrating what that means. That spark that's in us, that generative conduit that we are for more light and more life to flow through us and out into the world. It's a pretty magnificent thing. So here's the reading for the next 3 to 6 months. This energy of exploring the feminine generative principle and allowing it to be you, to nourish that light, take care of this beautiful body that you are, honor it, and give it a chance to express itself as much as possible. The mind, the level of the heart, giving focus to that, being intentional about that, looking for love, looking for that energy, and embracing it to the best of your ability. Pulling it into your field. Where attention goes, energy flows. So this focus on love, this distinction around love, letting that be paramount in your attention and your mindfulness. On the level of the heart, understanding that there's this sea of feeling that that is now coming through us. Suppressed emotion that has been stuck for a long time is coming through us. And those of you who are more sensitive know what I'm saying. You're feeling a lot. And it's not personal necessarily. We have a collective field of human emotion that has not been allowed to be processed or felt or flowed through us. It's been stopped and arrested and kept stuck. It's like a dam. We're allowing that now through us, through our human individuality. When you're feeling something, just notice it. Notice it. Give it a name if you want. But know that your role is just to allow it to come down through your field and out. Not in a way that you're taking it out on anybody else, to the best of your ability, please. But just through, even continue to visualize that tree root that we talked about at the beginning of the reading, and allowing that energy to come down and through you into the tree root, down into the earth, that compost for new growth. It's deeply healing and clearing that's happening right now. And we're feeling it on the level of the heart. So just being aware of that. And if you notice other people are feeling a lot, perhaps having a little bit more compassion and kindness towards them as they're navigating that in their experience. Because everyone has a different role to play, and some of us are clearer channels for that emotional experience than others are. And it doesn't hurt for those of us who maybe are a little bit more stodgy to just hold them in a good way and send them some good energy. And then this, on the level of the spirit, this needing to forge onward, needing to stay focused on what it is that we're holding in our hearts. What is it that we want? Not settling, not compromising, holding a very lofty and intentional energy as we continue to move forward into the world. Yes, it's dark. Yes, it's cold. Yes, we're scared. Yes, we have anxiety. We don't know where things are going. And there is a broader, wiser part of us. There is more life coming. There is more light coming. Our goal, our intention by holding all of this is to move ourselves personally and collectively into that light, into that moreness of human experience from a broader, wiser place. Humanity is changing, is evolving. We're going through it right now. We have a lot to clean up, and we're moving forward. And it's just what there is to do. But hold the lofty vision. Hold a lofty vision. What is it that you want? And as I said, there's lots and lots and lots of way showers and healers and energy people holding space on the planet at this time. Personally, collectively, there's this field of light on the planet, and we're being helped with the light from the sun, the light that is changing on the planet in our solar system. At this time, the evolution of humanity is inevitable. So hold that broader, loftier vision. It's okay to do that, because it's part of your role as a human being, is to dream the new into experience. And then what grounds us as we do this next 3 to 6 months is the energy of celebration, the energy of joy, the energy of enjoyment, of being on the planet in physical bodies, enjoying all the beauty that is here, being deeply grateful for it and expressing that as much as we can, and letting that fuel our fire, our spark, our creative output. The joy cannot be under-expressed here. It's that vibrant light energy. That word light, it keeps coming up. That's what this is all about, the return of the light. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, and for you in the South, it's a similar quality, this energy of love, this energy of light. I think this is just what's up for us right now as humanity, as we're learning to hold more of that in our bodies, in our fields, with our attention. We're learning to be more intentional, present in the moment, and living this life in a really, really solid way. I hope this reading is of service to you. Let's just take a deep breath. Creator, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be of service with this reading. I ask that you be with all of us, every single human manifest on the planet at this time. Help us to navigate these coming months to the best of our ability, connecting to our inner joy, our inner creative spark, and learning to express that in beautiful ways for our own joy and for the joy of all those that we connect with. Help us to take good care of ourselves, to nourish ourselves, and provide for ourselves in good ways so that we can be healthy and strong and vital, and bring that vital life force energy into all aspects of our experience for our good and the good of the collective. Help us to navigate the feelings that will come up as they do, to easily and effortlessly flow them through us, knowing that as we do so, we are cleansing not only our own field, but the collective field of humanity, and making room for more good. And help us to stay focused on the good, the higher, more beautiful vision of the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. Just help us to hold that in our hearts as we move forward on the spiritual level, to continue to tap into the broader, wiser part of us and allow that to guide us and inform us as we navigate our lives. Always holding the joy. I hope wherever you are, you have a beautiful winter solstice and holiday season, and that you are able to tap into your broader, wiser self and live that more into your life in whatever way is best for you. I want to thank all those who helped to hold the space today, all the angels, all the grandmothers, the grandfathers, all those who are holding the beautiful grid of light on the planet at this time. Thank you for your service. And thank you to the service of all of you listening. Your willingness to journey in a good way for your highest and greatest good and the collective highest and greatest good is tremendously of service. So thank you. Much love and light, everyone. And I'll look forward to seeing you here again soon. Be well.